Hello and welcome to the Darby Creek Diaries. I'm Gail Thompson and I'm so glad you stopped by. A little distraction from our issues of the day. Before I get started, I just want you to know this is a review of a product I just opened from the mail. Please don't thumbs down just because you don't like the product. I had been looking forward to this Heidi Swapp Toner Ink ever since Creativation. The pad was $13, the ink was $9 plus tax and shipping. My first thoughts were there really weren't much in the way of directions. Now, I've been crafting for, I don't know, 50 years. And I figure that I'm just as, like the average person. So I wanted to show you my very first attempt at using this. The first thing that I noticed was this pad is only good for one use. So there are refills available. And I also wanted to let you know that you use 15 milliliters of the ink and one refill pad. So if you're going to do it, you would want to do several things at once. However, you will see later that you don't really have that kind of time. Now, here are the directions that you're given. It's pour the 15 milliliters of toner into the pad and then allow it to absorb and use it within 2 hours. So that's what I did. I want you to know I've sped this up and I've cut out an awful lot of footage, or we would be here all night and you would be bored to death. So there's the cup. So I do the 10 and then I go back in and I do the 5. And I find out fairly soon that this is a kind of a messy proposition. And I'm not prepared with baby wipes and paper towels as close by as I would want. But here we go. This is just toner ink, like the stuff that's in a laser copier, only in liquid form. The idea is that you can stamp with this and then put your foil on it and run it through the laminator. And that would be so cool because there's so many stamps I would love to be able to do that with. And sometimes those pastes just are too thick. I'm spreading around the ink on the pad to kind of even it out as best I can with a piece of scrap paper. And I'm doing, what I think is the right thing since there just weren't that many directions. But as you can see, the mess is beginning to start. So I'm looking at this and it says squeeze that pad and stick it in the white. Well, it sort of was in there. I'm using Stamp Village mail delivery. I wanted to use an example of a fine print and an example later of something more, fat. So I'm preparing this stamp because I hadn't used it before. And I just wanted to see how this would handle something with fine lines. So I wanted to get close and I got really close. And I'm just applying the stamp to the pad just like you would. And I'm not thinking that it's picking up much toner. And remember, this is double the speed. Now I'm stamping it. And the second thing I noticed was, holy cow, is it hard to get the stamp off the paper. But I didn't tear the paper and it made a decent image. I thought I would try it a second time and I wanted to show you there just wasn't much coming up off of that pad, but I figure I'm an average Joe and so this is what's going to happen with everyone. I don't think I'm doing anything wrong. This is 80-pound Nina Solar White, by the way. So my next step, I heated up my laminator, every bit of 20 minutes as I was gathering up supplies and things. So it was good and hot, and I just stuck it in a piece of copier paper, and I'm running it through. Now, I would say the supplies are listed below, but I didn't list any supplies below. You can ask me if you're interested, but I didn't link anything. This is a public service. So the next thing I wanted to do was use a big flat stamp to see how it would stamp for broad, thick lines and, thick pieces. And I'm preparing it again, just like I did the others because I hadn't used it. And I'd sort of covered the toner thing. Now I'm sticking this on the pad and on the pad, and I'm running this at 2 times the speed. And excuse that bruise, I had a procedure done yesterday, and that was where the IV was. Nobody hit me. So I'm still trying to get what I think is a good coating of the ink. And then I stamp it down, and I don't really think it's a good coating of the ink. That should be flat. It should be all solid. And then look, I totally can't get this off of the paper. Boom, it's dry. And so now I'm stuck picking all that paper off. I got it off with a baby wipe. It wasn't a huge deal, but that's kind of disappointing. So I thought, oh, I'll try a smaller, little tinier stamp, which this wasn't much smaller, but it was smaller than I had. And I had a little more success with stamping it, but I just knew, I'd learned I have to pull this off really quick. You don't just, stamp and leave it on. You have to pop it off right away. And now I'm splopping ink everywhere. Everywhere I touched, I got more toner ink. So this was what happened with our first impressions. It did not pick up. See where the black is showing? It did not take all of the toner or all of the foil. So apparently it dried. I thought that would work even dry because it works with copiers even, or printers even when it's dry, but apparently not. So I'm running these 2 little images through my laminator, and let's see how this goes. And this is just regular gold foil there we go. It did not pick up, once again, it did not pick up all the stuff. So since I've already made an enormous mess, I thought, well, let's see what it does through a stencil. Let's just, use put the pad on the stand, the direct to paper method. Well, hang on, because if I thought I had a mess before, now I really have one. So of course that thing fell out. It wasn't in there tight. And now I've got this big blob. But I thought, let's just go on with this and see what happens. I just wanted to see if I took my heat tool and dried it, but I didn't want to get it perfectly dry because of the last thing that wound up not working, because it was too dry. So I stick the foil in, and into the laminator we go. Now this is just the same heat foil that everybody uses for all their projects. So now I'm cleaning off with a baby wipe, but stamp cleaner really does work better. Now I can't even get the copier paper separated, but it does pick it up. When it's really wet, it does pick it up. So there is a happy medium of when you have it really wet, but then it's sloppy. So here's my pile, and I'm gonna go and clean up the craft room now. But please come back. On March 25th, we have 80 stops. Save the Crafty YouTuber, prizes at every stop. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share with your friends. Visit me at thedarbycreekdiaries.com and at Instagram, the Darby Creek Diaries. I'm going to leave some other videos for you that might interest you. I mean, you probably have nothing but time right now, so why not get some crafting done and send someone a card today? Take care, be safe, and have a great week. Bye-bye.